Hey folks, I'm Jin Delasala with Audioholics. We are here with Takumi-san. It's such an honor to be standing with the man who's been involved with Marantz since 2007.
Yes.
And his name means craftsmanship in English. And what better fitting a name to have for products like Marantz? And I wanted to talk to you about the heritage of your product designs because I've reviewed many of them. Why don't you give us a little bit background on when you came to Marantz, what your design goals were for the company when you came here?
I joined Marantz in the 2007. After that, I designed the flagship model, including the PM11S3, PM10, and Model 10.
So I will tell you, I've reviewed the PM11S2 and the PM11S3, both excellent amplifiers, and there were differences between the S2 and the S3. The S3 model, I found that it was able to drive 4 ohm loads, harder speakers, better than the S2.
Okay, yeah. PM11S3 S3 is improved the power amplifier section. Yeah, power amplifier output stage is very improved from the 11S2.
So I have a funny story for you because when you did the Marantz demo in the other room, which was fabulous, when you played 4-play chant, I used to shut off the 11S2 on really difficult speakers with the volume turned up. When I got the 11S3 in, turned the volume up, it never shut off. So the amplifier drive, the current drive was better on that model. That was a beautiful piece. I love the phono preamp stage on that amplifier. It sounded wonderful. Then you had the PM10, which I have not reviewed, but I'm very interested in the Model 10 because I was told by Phil Jones, you know who Phil Jones is, that was the very best amplifier Marantz has made in basically the history of the company. I wanted you to talk about that because it's based on the Purify design, which is, you guys have seen our reviews of Purify amplifiers. They are the lowest noise and lowest distortion Class D amplifiers on the market. And this has the higher current module, but you guys built it from the ground up. You didn't just buy an OEM piece. You actually assemble all of the parts here at Shirakawa and you do it to your design. Can you talk a little bit about why you build it that way?
The Model 10 use, as you say, the Model 10 use the Purify. We will discussing maybe 2 years before made. And we made a completely original module for us. And yeah, so all parts is selected by us and PCB design and assembled in Shirakawa factory.
Here in Shirakawa, we got to witness how they assemble these products. It is very impressive because I thought it would be more machine automated, but a lot of the processes here are done by hand. So I saw, as you guys saw when we were looking at the turntables and they were winding the coil for the cartridges, there's one person in the entire facility doing that. And even just assembling the boxes, that was all done on a manual process. You guys put a lot of care into your products. So I reviewed the Link 10N and I really enjoy that product. I found that the streaming capability, the sound quality is really good on the streamer for the Link 10N, and the phono stage is also excellent in the tradition of Marantz. Can you tell us a little bit about, I guess, what the design process was in making the Link 10N to be the very best product that you have as a preamp? What you did with the HDAM circuits that's different than what ordinarily you would do when making a preamplifier?
Yes, yeah, actually the Model 10 and Link 10 preamplifier section is similar. And this preamplifier section is every new, not carry from the previous model. We developed the very early stage with sound manager Ogata-san and carefully to select every item. So I think this preamplifier section is best for the Marantz.
So let me ask you now, how do the engineers and the sound masters work together to get the product to its final point where you think it's right, it's ready to go to the customer, not only because of the measurements are good, but because the sound quality is what you want it to be? What are the goals of the sound quality of the Marantz products today?
Yeah, Marantz sound philosophy is in path of purity. So the engineering team and the sound manager is focusing on this direction. And yes, and we focusing on the sound tuning, but the engineering point of view, we carefully to the measurement.
Right.
Yeah.
One thing I find interesting is on the Link 10N, for example, there's so many different DAC filter settings that the end user can set. Slow response, fast response. So there's a bench test mode, right? So if you really live by measurements, you put it in that mode and you'll get the very best bench test results. But you don't even recommend that mode. If you want the best sound, you recommend different modes that may not measure as well. The out of band may not be as sharp roll off. It's a smoother roll off. But your sound masters, or you guys determined that that was a more musical sound?
Yes. Yeah. Honestly speaking, we have the two filter for the
Yes.
MMM. One filter is our recommendation. This filter is slightly reduce the high frequency. And so the one more filter is sharp, the flatten in the audio band.
Yes.
We are, from a sound point of view, our preference is slow filter.
Slow filter?
Yes.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to give me this knowledge to our readers. It's awesome to meet the people behind the products. It's something different when you have the product in your house and you enjoy it, and then you come to the factory and you see all the love and care that's been put into these products. And the heritage of the brand still lives up to its name so many years later. Okay, we are here with Ogata-san, the sound master for Marantz. It is an absolute honor to meet you in person. I've seen the pictures of you on all the Marantz ads. I've heard all about what you do in this room. This is the room where they do the final tuning for Marantz products. We're going to talk about the Series 10, the Model 10, the SACD player, the Link 10N. You're the one that spends hours in this room fine-tuning these products. Can you talk a little bit about what that process is?
この部屋はそのマランツの、チューニングの部屋です。応接用の部屋ではなくてその開発用の部屋で、全てのマランツの商品はここに持ち込んで私の方でサウンドチューニングをしています。
So let me ask you this now. As an engineer, you optimize the circuits based on your calculations, on your simulations. You think it comes out good on paper when you're designing it. You do the calculations. You think all of that is perfect. What parts do you find attribute mostly to making the Marantz characteristic sound the way you want it to be heard?
まずこの部屋なんですけど、この部屋っていうのは約20年前に作られました。で、私の先代のサウンドマスターの澤田さんという方が、もちろんこの部屋を作ったのはその業者が作ったんですけれども、最初はねそのコンクリとかでコンクリって水を含んでるんで音がどんどん変わっていくんですね。それが水が。
It seems like by tuning these products to one particular speaker, you're biasing the sound of that product towards any colorations that speaker has. Is there a target in general, or would you say that to get the real Marantz sound, it has to be, you have to use the speakers that he tuned them to? Because right now we're just using Bowers & Wilkins speakers. What if you have Revel or JBL or Perlisten or other brands? How do you know that you're achieving the Marantz target when you're only tuning it to a particular speaker in the room?
バレンススピーカーは一つです。基本的にその時代の B&W の、フラッグシップスピーカーを長年、使ってきています。まあ長年っていうのはそうですね、30年とかそれぐらいのスパンですね。まあなんていうんですかね、もちろんいろんなスピーカーで聞けば聞こえ方が違うっていうの。
Well, I appreciate you giving us this perspective on how you do your final sound tuning of your products. You guys saw, we went and we discussed the engineering process behind the Marantz products with the lead engineers who design these. And we were here now discussing this final sound tuning in this room. It's a piece of history. I'm honored to be here. I appreciate meeting you, sir. It's been an honor. Guys, if you like this video, please hit the thumb up, hit subscribe. Don't forget about our Patreon channel at patreon.com/audioholics. We appreciate your support. And if you're on the market looking for Marantz products, please use our affiliate links down below to support the channel. And until next time, my friends, keep listening.